Hi, everyone. Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, it's a severe weather threat. I'm tired of severe weather, but there may be some good news out of this. Now, if we can avoid the really nasty, bad, severe weather, this could be a good thing, and it eventually will be a good thing, as long as we can avoid that, avoid the really severe storms. So we have severe weather on Tuesday, mainly for almost all of Nebraska has a chance. Best chances in yellow, that's slight risk. What's going to happen, though, is A, we'll get some rain out of this. Some spots starting to need some rain again. B, this is going to bring in some cooler air and drier air. So the heat and humidity that we've had over the last several days, especially for eastern Nebraska, I think that's about done. I think it's about done. So bear with me. Now, also, I want to point out, this is a big area of severe weather. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. We've got this huge area here, and then another area here, like glasses. It's like they're looking at us. By the way, I want to point this out too, in case you're like, okay, what does a yellow mean? What does a green mean? That's the lowest level of the severe weather spectrum here from the Storm Prediction Center. It's a marginal, level 1, the green, and then a slight, level 2. It's in the yellow. Now, that's what we see most often. That's your 1-inch hail, your 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. The green means maybe 1 or 2 of those storms happen that are severe. The yellow means maybe 3 or 4, maybe a strong 1.5-inch diameter hail, things like that. So these are the lower levels, but they're still severe. The potential is still severe. And there's sometimes a tornado threat, like what we have right here. So when storms get going, I think we'll have a chance for a tornado or two to pop up when they're isolated. Then as it turns into a linear kind of, well, I'll talk more about that first here in a little bit, but we'll zoom in: Bassett, Milburn, Broken Bow, North Platte, Kearney, Grand Island, Cedar Rapids, Columbus, Norfolk, Randolph, Yankton, Sioux City. Areas like that have the chance for seeing a tornado or two. I don't think it'll be widespread or anything crazy, but damaging wind. I think more people have the potential of seeing damaging wind than anything else. 1 or 2 isolated tornadoes a possibility, maybe some large hail, but the damaging wind threat seems to be the best bet. And again, the area in yellow has the better chance of seeing some hail, but I don't think it'll be as widespread as the damaging wind threat on a Tuesday afternoon. So what's going to happen? Here's the forecast. This is maybe a few scattered showers by 2:30. They really start popping here. Now, these storms right there, and right there, those could get a little spin to them as they are forming. That's one time when there's a decent chance for a tornado to spin up. So you remember where that tornado, that green shaded area was, like right there? These storms right here have that chance to show a little rotation. Then it quickly, by about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, turns into a wind, that reverse wind potential. This is going to be moving like this, and it's got that reverse C, like right there. So that's your wind. It turns into more of a wind potential, but you have these isolated storms, like one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. That is the potential for still a tornado threat. So this is kind of the transition time, your 4, 5, 6 o'clock as that storm gets going, and then everything just kind of melds together. And by about 6, 7, 8 o'clock, this is where you see that reverse C, like that. That's a wind threat. But there's still a small chance at a tornado in there. And see where it kind of gets a little jagged, doesn't connect? Sometimes you get a little spin up in there. This is not a huge tornado threat by any stretch, but I'm just kind of pointing out what may happen as those storms move through. But I think overall this is more of a wind threat. And then by about 9 o'clock, this should be the last hurrah. We might see some severe wind gusts out of this, but by about 10 o'clock, as soon as that sun goes down, poof, it's like a light switch has been switched, and it's just done. And then maybe some lingering showers there in eastern Nebraska by midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, but that should be about it. So we'll see. I mean, it's not a great threat for a huge severe weather outbreak, but some damaging wind, some some hail, and maybe an isolated tornado or two. Now, let's look at the instability. Where is it highest? Probably right around here. This is 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. This area right here is probably your best bet. This is when it's going to turn into that wind threat. Once it starts to run into this instability, it's really going to start moving along, and it'll get a pretty good wind gust coming out of that line of storms, and then that instability quickly fades as soon as the sun goes down. Atmospheric cap, there's not a lot there by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so storms shouldn't have any problem getting going. And then by 6 p.m. it shouldn't matter. The storms will already be formed, and then by 11 o'clock at night, that cap really starts to build back in. Significant hail, I think right around here. This is noon. This right here is probably, if storms form, this is going to be your significant hail swath between O'Neill and Grand Island. Probably right about there, 3 o'clock, this area right in here. Wherever those storms are at, if it's within this corridor right here, this corridor, this is going to be your best area for the potential for hail. I think this corridor right there. If there are storms in this area at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll probably see some hailers. So that's something we'll keep an eye on as well. And then that's it. I mean, it just kind of dwindles down. Like I said, it turns into a wind threat, so the significant hail potential is just smaller as we get into the evening hours, and then it's basically gone by the time the sun goes down. Significant tornado parameter is really small, less than 1 the whole time. It's still there, so we could see 1 or 2 spin-ups. I mean, this is kind of that green shaded area we were looking at just a little bit ago. It's not high, so the significant tornado threat is small, but the isolated, smaller, weaker tornado threat is still up there, and then that's basically gone as we get towards 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. So that's kind of the information I have for you now. If something happens, if like a watch is issued or the storms are really getting going, I will likely go on air or on YouTube Live. So if you like and you subscribe and you click the little bell, ding the bell thing, you'll know when I go live. And that way, it's almost another way. It's like a weather radio in your pocket. If your YouTube is telling you, hey, Rusty went live because there's severe weather, it's just another way to be told that there's some severe weather out there. So weather radios, good way to be alerted. If you have an app on your phone that tells you about severe weather in your area, and then if you want to know about widespread severe weather across Nebraska, subscribe and like my page, and that way you know kind of what's going on. So that's a severe weather threat. If anything pops up tomorrow afternoon, early evening, I'll try to go on YouTube Live and make sure everybody knows what's going on. You can also tune to Channel 8. I'll have all kinds of updates on there as well. So thank you very much for following me. This has been a lot of fun, and if you do the YouTube Lives, those are a lot of fun too. A lot of people on there asking all kinds of questions, and I'm happy to answer them. So we might see you tomorrow.